Benicio Del Toro plays a hard-boiled detective whose life starts to unravel the closer he gets to solving the mystery he's working on. Let's talk about Netflix's Reptile. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the recent Netflix film Reptile. This was a big hit for them. It stayed at #1 for about 3 weeks recently, and this is featuring Benicio Del Toro, Alicia Silverstone, and Justin Timberlake, all in main roles here. We're going to get to the specifics of this movie in just a second, but first, let me welcome you to Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We do movie and TV reviews here on the channel, and just about every day something new goes up. So always a lot to check out. Please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, or just comment below. All that stuff does help the channel out, of course, and stick with me to the end of my video to find out my grade for Reptile. So like I mentioned, Benicio Del Toro, hard-boiled detective. Alicia Silverstone plays his wife, and there is a real estate up-and-comers murder. Justin Timberlake plays her boyfriend. So all three of these guys involved here with this case, and the closer Del Toro's character gets to uncovering the truth, the more his life starts to unravel and sort of spiral out of control. So this was directed by Grant Singer, who is a first-time director for a feature film, but he is known mainly for music videos. He's done a lot of big ones, not that music videos are, all the rage anymore, but he's done some that you've probably heard of, like Can't Feel My Face from The Weeknd, and some Sam Smith ones, and he's worked with a lot of, the younger pop stars, Ariana Grande, he did a video for, but this is his feature film debut, and it's interesting because I would say, when you think of, okay, music video director going to direct a movie, I think of people like Mick G back in the late 90s, early 2000s, that was, directing all these videos, and then did like the Charlie's Angels movies, and everything was very flashy and bright, and, a lot of action going on. This is more of a slow burn. And in fact, I would say it's too slow. I think the movie is a little too long by a bit. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes, somewhere in that range. I don't think it needs to be that long. But I will admit, it's interesting that, a music video director had kind of that foresight to give it more of a slow burn when he's used to directing, 5-minute clips. So I'll give him that. But look, he is helped greatly by a gangbusters performance by Del Toro. I don't think the guy ever lets us down with his performances. Benicio Del Toro is, a master. And this role of his, even though this movie, which, we'll find out a little bit later with my grade, is a little bit middling, I really like this character. I'm not sure if this particular character gets a series of films, but I am on board for that. The Tom Nichols Chronicles or whatever, and Alicia Silverstone. Honestly, she's picked a lot of projects the last, I don't know, 15 years or more, maybe, that are more small roles, or she's like the mom of a family comedy that doesn't revolve around the parents, like she did that one Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, or she just has a couple of scenes. But and I will say, we don't see her quite enough in this movie, but she's actually really good in this, and it's not something that I have said about Alicia Silverstone in recent years, because everything she picks is so sort of either light or just light on her role or whatever. But something this heavy, I'm not used to seeing her in lately anyway, and I think she's really good here. It's another reminder that she's actually a pretty good actress. So the two of them together, I would love to see them, doing other mysteries or whatever, because I really like these characters, and their performances really is what elevates this movie above just kind of standard, because everything about it sort of is. Everything else about this movie, other than those two performances, is pretty routine. I actually think there's a little too much going on, because there's really it's sort of two stories in one, and the one story sort of gets left on the table to focus more on the murder. But it's a little bit at odds at each other at that, but for the most part, it's kind of average looking, and the script, there's nothing necessarily that pops about it. You come for this though, for this tour de force performance by Del Toro. Justin Timberlake's okay. I've gone back and forth on his movie career. I think sometimes I think it depends on the role for him. And we're gonna leave like the animated Trolls movie out of it. That's sort of neither here nor there in terms of something like this with meat to it. But like in The Social Network, he was good. And he did a couple of movies in that area, like In Time, I thought was good. That sci-fi movie, but in something where I don't know, like he has to really emote maybe a little bit more than in some other movies. This is not the role for him. Let's just say that. So he was in the cast a bit of a weak spot for sure. But look, overall, this movie is compelling enough to slightly recommend. Like I said, it is too long, and there's not too much that's original about it, but the mystery itself is okay. And those two main performances from Del Toro and Silverstone are really solid. So I will leave Reptile with a B minus, just skirting it, above that average line because of those performances. And you can stream that now on Netflix. All right, thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time. Bye.